I'm Chris.
And I'm Robert, and the Foally of Man was recently voted #1 amongst people who accidentally clicked on the show while trying to download something else. So there you go. Yeah, we're doing really well in the errors and omissions part of YouTube and iTunes.
Soon we'll actually get some good numbers. But yes.
Welcome to episode 25 of the Foally of Man. If you're joining us for the first time, this is a podcast where Chris, who is a Brony, and I, Robert, who is not a Brony, go over the fan fiction involving Fallout and My Little Pony that talks about Fallout Equestria.
Yep. So, today we're going to be looking at Chapter 28, which is The Hour of the Wolf. This is still Rangers level murder here.
That's some pretty next-level murder.
Yeah, that's like top-tier murder.
So, yeah, I guess we just got to hop right into it. We last left our heroes
Aloft,
yes, on their way to Stable 2.
Yes.
Waiting to see just how bad the carnage was.
Yep, because
from the onslaught of the Steel Rangers.
Oh yeah, because the Steel Rangers they had
led by Blueberry Saber.
Yep, they had gotten an emergency announcement. Oh, by the way, we're currently under attack.
Mm-hmm.
And of course how it works is Blueberry Saber, while Little Pip was in Philadelphia, used the opportunity to besiege Stable 2. Not a nice pony. Not a nice pony.
Yeah, and well, anyways, we'll get into what the actual stable is like when they get there. But
let's just say, can we say for a second that the situation may be unstable?
Oh boy, yeah, it will be. So, anyways, they bank in the air and they start heading on their way towards Stable 2. We already know that Calamity is exhausted from hours and hours and hours of flying, but he suddenly has some newfound energy.
Yeah.
And they're trying to strategize. Basically, where we last left off, Calamity was saying, I hope there's none of your friends there because I'm going to kill me a whole lot of Steel Rangers.
And they start questioning what is Steel Hooves going to do in this situation.
Exactly. Because he has to question, here's the deal. He's been with the Steel Rangers for a very long time. He's the oldest serving member.
He's been with the Steel Rangers for longer than than the other parts of his entire existence.
Right. And so the question becomes, what's more important to him? The code of the Steel Rangers or the code that was started by Applejack, who founded the Steel Rangers?
Yeah.
So, and that's what they're struggling with. And Steel Hooves himself is kind of questioning, there's hesitation.
Yeah.
But what he does say is that walking into a fully armed battalion of Steel Rangers is not smart under any circumstances.
No, it's not gonna win you any brownie points.
He can't just waltz in there and open fire. It's suicide.
Yeah.
Because if you thought he was heavily armed, everyone else is heavily armed. And
ain't working for you in your favor.
Absolutely. And so they're trying to work on some strategies and trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do, if they even have weapons enough to tackle the armor. They do have some armor-piercing rounds. Calamity has his enchanted zebra. His was the
anti-machine rifle.
Yeah, the anti-machine rifle, but it was an Enclave rifle.
Yeah, it was owned by Spitfire, who was the commanding officer of the Wonderbolts.
Right, and but Little Pip has a Zebra rifle that she has access to
with some armor-piercing ammunition, and the little Macintosh is good for armor-piercing itself.
At close range.
But the problem also comes into the fact that there's not many bullets for it, and it's not an easy weapon to use across a field of enemies. I mean, it's
but anyways, it all boils down that they realize that they're going to have to they need to assess the situation first.
Oh yeah, and
it's en route to Stable 2 that's when they come across the very, very big bad.
Yeah, right outside of Stable 2, currently lumbering around Steel Rangers.
And it's because the Everfree Forest is currently being burned down.
Yes.
And so all the magical creatures of the Everfree Forest are being driven from it.
Yep, out into the other parts of the wasteland. And so here you see Ursa Minor, which we had talked about previously. This creature which was this sort of transparent star child kind of thing. Scares the hell out of
It's like a bear, right? Part bear?
It's a bear.
Yeah.
It's a bear. It's supposed to be a take on, obviously, Ursa Minor.
Yeah.
but it scares the shit out of Zenith.
They refer to it as something else.
Star Child.
Yeah, Star Child. Okay,
Yeah, because it's Zenith, she sees it as of the stars, and
right.
Zebra's scared the hell out of by the stars.
Yeah. Well, they have good reason to be afraid of the night sky.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So they managed to take it out by using Velvet Remedy's numbing spell, which puts an aura around, almost like fairy fire from Dungeons and Dragons, to where people can see it well enough to lodge a rocket in its eye, which then summarily explodes and detonates the brains.
Right, but so she uses her stun spell.
Yeah, numbing spell. Yeah.
So it also kind of slows it down.
The anesthetic.
But it had taken out a ton of Steel Rangers.
Yes. Because I mean, where do you hit it? Where the hell do you hit something with a bear when your projectiles are effectively firecrackers?
And it's invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it was Steel Hooves himself who actually took down the Ursa Minor.
Of course. So, because all these Ponces are just that.
Yeah.
Ponces.
Yeah. There are some surviving members. A captain? No, a paladin. There's a paladin and then a knight. Mm-hmm. And the paladin says, by order of Blueberry Saber, we've been told that we have to, you're not allowed to be a part of this.
Yeah, you must stand down. You must leave.
You must leave.
And
he basically says, I'm your senior officer, and I don't answer to Blueberry Saber. I answer to Cottage Cheese.
And to which the paladin says,
Elder Cottage Cheese.
Yeah. The paladin says, well, Elder Cottage Cheese has already given us the head.
Yeah,
go ahead.
He's the one who okayed this entire thing.
He's taking 29. He's taking stable 29. So we get this one, and you don't have any say in this. And right about when he says you don't have a say with this, his head gets blown off by the captain.
Yeah,
who's like, "I'm your biggest fan."
No, it's not the captain. It's Calamity who shoots him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the knight stands in stunned silence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, twin shots from Calamity's rifles rip this guy's head apart.
Ping.
Yeah, basically. So it's Calamity who does it, and he says, clearly, diplomacy was not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, he was not going to help us. But yeah, the knight was, going to fall in line with Steel Hooves.
Oh, yeah, because he already said,
And he said, you realize what you're doing is wrong. This is murder. This is slaughter. This is not what you stand for.
Yeah.
And so it also shows that amongst the ranks, it hints at the outcast regiment. I mean, we're already seeing the seeds being planted for the rift within the Brotherhood of Steel.
The apple seeds?
God. Yes, of course.
The puns never end.
The apple seeds. Yeah, welcome to the Foally of Man, where the puns never end. And the points don't matter. But anyway, so then they decide that they continue towards the stable. And Calamity offers up, I have some firepower that may be able to assist us.
Yeah.
It's only about 15 minutes away from here, but, we're already late to the party, as it were. But they decide to press on anyways, to continue forward and not go to his, secret cache of whatever.
Yeah, and then they, once inside, they get met upon by, they see a slaughter.
Yeah, well, and
there was a welcoming group that was
security guards and ponies that were carrying flowers,
gifts, welcoming gifts. That thankfully we did learn was actually a decoy.
It was a decoy by the Overmare
to slow down the intruders to see their intentions, so that she could lock away the remaining ponies. Which is not. It's one of those things. It's a strategy which is usually seen as very terrible, but is one of those necessary things when it comes to this kind of fight.
Yeah.
You kind of have to understand, look, somebody's going to have to be the shield. And sometimes they don't even know they're going to have to be it.
Yeah, it was one of those tough decisions. It was one of those things that even little Pip is like, it's brilliant, but I'm also pissed that had to be the decision.
Yeah. And it just was.
How do you spare the lives of the
Overmare
few?
did nothing wrong.
Yeah. No, and the Overmare did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, they get in there, and it's just been a slaughter. And essentially, it's very action-packed, but the next chunk of the story is, move a little bit, kill some more Brotherhood of Steel. Move a little bit, kill some more Brotherhood of Steel.
Very, very good, though. I will say...
No, yeah, the writing, this was one of the most interesting chapters. It was really fun, really interesting.
Very descriptive on what's occurring, and the pacing on it is great because sometimes you can kind of get dragged down with the details so much that the pacing loses itself. But no, I thought KK did a fantastic job of keeping the pacing going,
Right.
keeping the pacing up.
Well, and I neglected to mention that when they were in the Sky Car, not Sky Car, what's it called?
Sky Bandit.
Yeah, Sky Bandit. Anyways, that there was some information revealed that little Pip let slip from, the memory orb about how Zecora was used as a spy, which even Steelhooves
Had no idea.
didn't believe. Yeah. And essentially, they're like, you need to start sharing some of these stories with us.
Yeah.
But they also find out that was a program that they had done, that they had been doing for a while, that there was this tremendous capability that they didn't think they had. But anyway, so they're moving on through the stable. I'm trying to think of some of the more particular things that jumped out while they were in
split up
there.
into the two parties. They found there was a band of resistance against against what they were doing to the stables because they thought they were just going to go in peacefully and going to try to negotiate, and they were like, no, we're just going to butcher all of them. Because Blue Ray Saber's like, hell no, we're just going to kill all of them. We don't need them. And so...
Which is really upsetting when we find out
Oh, yeah.
basically what the composition of the stable was.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they rebelled against it. They turned against it. They said, no, we're not going to do this. And so Blue Ray Saber was like, fine, you could stay locked in the...
I was going to say, locked a bunch of them. Well, and when they get down to really dire straits, basically they've been cornered. They have some much more overpowered Brotherhood of Steel members. Out of nowhere, a gunshot rings out from behind the head of one of the Brotherhood of Steel members. Sorry, Steel Rangers. I keep saying Brotherhood of Steel, but you know what I mean. Steel Rangers. Yeah. And who is it but a griffin that was sent by Gaudina?
Oh, yeah. I was sent by God.
Yeah, I was sent by God. On a mission from God.
On a mission from God.
It's a band of griffin mercenaries who've been dispatched explicitly to assist Little Pip at the stable. And they didn't even realize that Little Pip would necessarily be there, but just assumed.
Yeah. I mean, it's great.
And in most interesting fashion, they show up and agree to fight without having any preconceived understanding of payment.
They're starting to break away from that, from this sense of honor towards the contract, and so they refuse to do anything without a contract. It's kind of this inherent greed.
Well, and they understand that they will be paid back. Little Pip will have something for them.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyways, so we get to the part of the stable where the remaining occupants are all locked away. And this is when the confrontation with Blueberry Saber begins.
Oh, yeah. Which is not much of a confrontation because Blueberry Saber kind of eats it.
Yeah. Who was it that makes the shot? Oh, I also totally forgot that Steel Hooves gets wounded.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly so.
And they're like, we have to heal you. Nah, I'm good.
Well, he was like, no, that was earlier, but I'm talking about in the fight in the stable. He has like ichor pouring out of the suit and everything. Yeah, his suit takes a hell of a hit. But yeah, so Blueberry Saber is kind of unceremoniously killed, but she was trying to force Little Pip to, I'm getting things out of order. Blueberry Saber was killed by the Griffin.
Yeah.
That's right. Of course.
You're thinking of Nova Rage.
Yeah, that's
which is later on.
Yeah, that is later on. But anyways, but Little Pip was trying to be forced to
let them in.
Yeah, let him in.
It's like, oh, you're here. You're the key to all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Bullshit.
Yeah, not going to happen.
So yeah, no, she finds so Little Pip finds Nova Rage with two Brotherhood of Steel that have auto saws cutting through the doors.
Yeah.
And in a fit of Nova Rage, turns the two auto-sawed Rangers against each other and has each of them cut each other up into bits. Rather gruesome.
Wow.
Pip, what is wrong with you? I mean, it is one of those things where it's of the instant thing. I was like, what's the best way to solve the situation? Now kiss.
Yeah. And death.
And just, ooh. Just no love for Nova Rage at all. But yeah.
But anyways, so the day is saved.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much eliminate an entire arm of the Steel Rangers,
and in the process, create a new form of the
a new
Steel
faction.
Rangers.
Yeah. Well, because it's Steel Hooves who says, I can no longer identify, with this flag or these colors because they don't stand for what I believe in.
And he can't take the suit off, so he paints the suit.
He paints the suit, and I cannot remember the name of the pony, but the painter pony.
Oh yeah, the painter pony. Yeah.
Paints Applejack's cutie sign.
Cutie mark. Yeah.
Cutie mark.
And he becomes Applejack's Rangers.
Yep.
Which is a rather hilarious roundabout way to create the Riley's Rangers from Fallout 3. Which I thought was actually quite clever. I'm like, this is a build-up the entire time.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, we have the Outcasts there. Shoot. We skipped over a couple little tidbits here or there, but that's
well.
okay.
I mean that part can stand separate on its own. So we finally meet back up with the rest of the ponies
and the Overmare.
Now I think before then,
we also meet Little Pip's mom.
Yeah, Little Pip talks to her mom, and,
who's drunk,
and she starts complaining about all the different stuff that went wrong. Not really caring about the fact that Little Pip was out in the world, not that she was dying, and not the fact that she saved them all.
And Velvet Remedy hits her,
clocks her, just straight, right a buck to the face,
and says, "You haven't suffered any.
You haven't suffered at all.
You know no suffering."
I know, it was great, and I think I want to thank K-Cat for having Velvet Remedy do it because it juxtaposes how important that smack to the face is, that the pacifist has to beat the shit out of that person. Yeah.
Do something Little Pip never could do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, she can kill. She just can't hurt.
Right. Well, no, I just mean her own mother.
Yeah. Little Pip would never hurt her own mother.
Yeah, it's a well, and even Little Pip resents Velvet Remedy a little bit for hitting her mom.
Yeah, I don't know whether I should be happy or mad.
Right. Yeah. She was definitely out of bounds there. But the one request Little Pip has, because Evermare's like, well, the two of you are obviously welcome back here anytime, and Little Pip's like, I can't come back.
No.
Because
if she comes back, then all of the little fillies in the vault are going to idolize her, and they're going to leave. They're going to want to leave, and it's going to ruin their. Oh wait, no, that's Fallout 1.
I was just gonna say, isn't that the plot line of Fallout 1?
Sorry.
I love Fallout 1 if you're an idiot. You can play that with very low intelligence. And
Fallout 2 is the same way. I think they tried the same with New Vegas. It's just it kind of ended up being dialogue choices. Yeah,
I just like the idea of an overseer having to speak to you very plainly and slowly. They see outside where the big light is. Yeah, the big. You go find the bad man. You kill the bad man.
Oh, that's great.
They haven't done anything like that since.
Nah.
But super mutants aren't a playable race, so.
Yeah. So that was
so we're missing. So what Little Pip does request is access to the Overmare's archives.
And she's like, "What?" And Velvet Remedy's like, "Me too, please."
Yeah. Well, in Velvet Remedy had already been granted access to some things.
And I remember the Overmare saying to Velvet Remedy, when I gave you all of Sweetie Belle's things,
I thought it would spurn you to,
be more creative, not to search through it for a way out of
to escape
stable.
the vault. Yeah. Sorry, the stable.
Same thing.
But what we find out is that Stable 2, everyone in the stable are descendants of Applejack's family.
Yep.
Exclusively Applejack's family. And there's also a little bit of a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because Velvet Remedy and Little Pip are only 6 generations removed between the two of them.
Which means they totally couldn't have kids. I mean, aside from the obvious, they couldn't have kids.
Yeah, aside from both being, mayors. But other than that, there's a terrible inbreeding problem. But we also find out that Applejack lived out her days in the vault.
Yep, she made it through.
She made it through 25 years in the vault after she made it to the vault.
Yeah, kept bucking trees up until her hips gave out and then just went to cooking.
That's right. And took care of people until her very last day. And when she finally did pass away, unlike any other vault dweller that normally would be incinerated, Applejack was laid to rest in the apple grove.
Yep.
So, buried there. But we also find out in a conversation Little Pip has with Steel Hooves that Applejack was pregnant when she arrived.
which harkens back. I was trying to find it just then because I almost I forgot to actually bookmark it. In chapter 18, Little Pip asks, "Why are you following me?" And Steelhooves, in Now You Realize, in a rather roundabout way, says, "Many of us follow our code to the letter, and some of us follow because we follow Applejack and what she did." Which wouldn't actually be an answer to her question, unless the answer has to relate to her lineage.
Right. But he seemed very surprised that Applejack was pregnant. I mean, that's just how I interpreted it. I mean, he may have just assumed that there were descendants of her family there, but he didn't even know that she made it into the vault. I mean, he didn't know. He never found her body. That was always his thing.
Yeah.
But here Little Pip is trying to give him a piece of comfort. Hey, Applejack lived out the rest of her life. She was happy. She survived.
Yep.
But it doesn't seem to be much. I mean, it's
but
some
what
solace.
what solace could it be? I mean, really, because now he's not only has he given the finality of his love, but he's also kind of continues to live.
Well, and also in the records and the journals, Applejack tried to leave the vault, but the Overmare refused
because they had incorrectly estimated how long it would take for the surface to cleanse itself.
Who was the first Overmare? Sweetie Belle? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not. Yeah. Apple Bloom died outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah. It's Sweetie Belle was the first Overmare, and her directive was nobody leaves until
it says it's clean.
Until the air and the soil. Well, and the stable tech had no idea how bad the damage.
Well,
would
I mean,
be.
there was no testing of this technology. There was no testing of the long-term ramifications. The Megaspell framework was only generated a couple decades prior. There'd be no way to figure out what the long-term effects were.
You mean they didn't go out to Nevada when they were testing the Manhattan Project? For the listeners at home, it was just a bunch of disgusted stares on Chris's part. Oh, goodness.
I completely agree, however.
You'd think you'd blow up a bomb just once, maybe.
Yeah, but you must remember, this is a species who have understood the fundamental construction parts. I mean, like the actual bricks and mortar of their universe, magic. They've known this for thousands of years, and it's taken them this long to generate something that was a cumulative death effect.
Yeah. Well, let's also look at it this way. They're a creature that has no fingers and yet can play a violin. So there's all sorts of weird shit going on.
Yeah, but I mean, you're comparing them to a species which we found the building blocks to our universe and turned it into a bomb in 50, 60 years?
Yeah. They're not
We're really good at it.
I'm trying to make a point. They're not normal equines. They're these weird alien amoebas that can morph at will to do certain tasks. in a world where everything is designed for you to use your mouth. I'm just saying, the idea of playing a violin with your hooves makes no sense.
There was an episode where where one of the ponies tried to pick up something with their hooves and it just wouldn't work. And it's like, oh, okay, because you're actually going to play off the fact that they can't use their hooves.
And the thing is, K-Cat does such a good job describing the weapons and everything in a world with ponies, like pony mechanics.
Yeah.
Having to fire things with your mouth, only being able to do a few things at a time. Calamity having to retrofit his battle saddle to be able to do more things, with his mouth. So, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
It's almost like this book is far more true to the
concept of the world space than the shows, and that's true. That's absolutely true
because
the
it's
show
convenient.
writers, the show writers will write off convenience. They will come up with answers to stories that are actually bad. There was actually a story. This came to light recently. There was a episode which came off as mocking the fandom, the critical parts of the fandom. And everybody was like, what the hell? And then it ends up, yes, it actually was intentionally done that way as a letter by Hasbro, where they actually sent it to the writer of the show saying, hey, by the way, insult these people. And he didn't even want to do it, but he had to.
Apparently, somehow ponies can bowl as well.
Yeah. I mean, bowling's pretty easy. I mean, it's one of those things where it's easy to get into, hard to master. When you got magic, you really got to start wondering exactly what's stopping them from cheating. But
I mean, so like, what about earth ponies? Do they just nudge it with their hoof? Is there a hoof hold in the bowling ball?
no, they just hold it and they just cup it and roll.
That's not how that works.
You can hand a bowling ball. You don't actually have to have the finger holes.
Yes. But I have a malleable hand. A hoof is not malleable.
I think we just agreed that they were an amoeba.
Yes. Well, I'm just saying it's just another incident. I'm just saying it's another incident where this show.
And they had to tie in the fact that it was related in some way to the Big Lebowski.
Well, and that's fine. That's a fine reference.
Because, I mean, regardless of how you shape the hooves, it really holds the room together.
All right. I think that's quite enough. I think we've summarized things. Now, Christopher, walk with me, if you will, down a path. Trot with me, if you will, down the path towards the pony pun of the week.
Pony pun of the week.
The pony pun of the week. The pony pun of the week. All right. So you kind of have to introduce this yourself because you put these together. I'm going to force you to read those. So you have some very politically charged pony puns of the week.
They're not really politically charged. I mean, they're just kind of like observations of the political power structure, which don't make any sense.
Okay.
They're just visual. They're just auditory puns, which is the proletariat, the bourgeoisie, and the
Itocracy.
It's the meristocracy.
Oh, the meristocracy.
Yes, the meristocracy.
Ah, meristocracy.
Meristocracy probably being the only one that's of any interest, but I thought I could come up with the proletariat and the bourgeois zebra.
You didn't come up with the bourgeois
You
zebra.
did.
Yeah, you're damn right I did. All right, do we have any listener questions this week?
We do, and I totally have them queued up and ready to look at.
This is the level of quality that you expect from a show that is 2 weeks late.
I'm sorry. Oh.
All right, who do we got and what's their question?
Okay, so first is Almanac Pony.
Almanac?
Almanac.
Oh, Almanac.
Almanac Pony.
Ow.
Thanks, French. For both of you, your individual opinions, please. But I want Robert's first. In comparison to real books and other fan fictions, what level of quality do you feel K-Cat's story comes to you now that you're quite a way through it? As in terms of storytelling structure, story structure, sentence structure, descriptive ability, what is your opinion on its quality?
What do you think of K-Cat as an individual on a personal level? If you had to describe her as a day of the week, what day of the week would she be?
Catil's Day.
Great. Oh man, I feel like this has been addressed, but I'll reiterate it here. It doesn't. I mean, obviously it is fan fiction, but I'll say that the quality level doesn't feel like fan fiction.
Yeah,
I mean that's just the truth. It's well written. We wouldn't have gotten 25 episodes in if this was not well written because this shit would have been done. I would have been like, nah, not happening.
As well, I mean, I admit I haven't read that many books. Most of the books that I read are kind of very dry and drawn out in the details. That being the Rama series, like Rendezvous with Rama, not the anime Rama series, which is something else completely. I got that confused with the conversation with somebody, and like our conversation went off the rails with each other. It was hilarious. And the Ring World series, which was interesting, but also kind of weird.
But that's not fan fiction.
No, but I'm comparing it to actual pieces of literature.
Ah, okay. Have you read any other fan fiction? You've read other My Little Pony.
Oh yeah, no, I've read lots of other fan fiction, and it does. I was
gonna say, how does K-Cat stack up to all of the derivative titles from Fallout Equestria?
There were a few that I liked that I thought the writing on was a little better, but they never finished. So if you don't finish, then why bother?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to be mean about that, but
if you're not first, you're last.
But it's like, come on, if you can't finish the book, then how can I ever say you were great at it? Because I can't show anyone, because I'm like, hey, look how good this is, and they're like, it's only one chapter and there's no resolution.
It's like a really good looking pizza, but it never gets cooked, so you don't ever really get to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It also ties into another question where somebody says,
next question,
can you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? That's by Knock Lupus.
So on a scale of 1 horseshoe to 10 horseshoes, or actually apropos, 1 apple to 10 apples.
Yeah.
With 1 apple being like full of worms and decomposing.
Well, yeah, because it gathers all the worms.
Yeah.
Well, 10 apples can fight off the worms.
So it's the same question again, but just on a scale.
Yeah, just scale.
Well, you see, I will go out on a limb. I'm going to say I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 apples in regards to fan fiction. I mean, is it War and Peace? No, it's not War and Peace, but most people don't
rate
even
it to War and Peace. Rate it to War and Peace, because that's what people are actually asking.
Oh, okay. The quality of writing, a solid 7.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I give it a 10 on both accounts, because, again, the type of literature I've read is not as good. Because there's no way I can say that I'm this far into it and go, yeah, I'll give it a 7.
It's no Flowers for Algernon, although somebody should do a My Little Pony Flowers for Algernon crossover.
They haven't, but there's some that are just as sad.
Apples for Algernon.
Get on it, Internet. I believe in you. There probably already is one. Question: have you guys seen the My Little Pony?
Wait. Who's asking the question?
This is by Public Nickname.
Oh, well, hey, Public Nickname. Thanks for the question.
Question: have you guys seen the My Little Pony movie already?
Of course not.
If not, go watch it and answer my question.
Oh, thanks. Let me go hop into my car.
Yeah, for a nice prerequisite. Do you think any of the characters on there might be inspired by Fallout Equestria? If yes, which ones? Yes. Fizzlepop, Berry Twist, definitely. That's about it.
Is that 2 creatures or is that 1 creature?
That's 1 creature.
Hit us with it again.
Fizzlepop, Berry Twist. I'm probably very wrong with that name. I probably got
Berry Twist
wrong. But no, that's the one of the.
You know what? Let us know if you want us to do an honest review of the My Little Pony movie. I'll go see the My Little Pony movie.
I'm going to be honest with you. One of the reasons we were late last week is because I was in a completely different town watching the Pony movie with some people.
You were at a low-grade Brony convention is what that was.
It actually was, because
there was a Brony meetup there. Yeah. Well, you were concerned that there might be normies. Little girls going to the theater to see the movie.
Disgusting.
Nope. Just a bunch of middle-aged... Well, actually, what is middle-aged now? I mean, we're not middle-aged. Nowhere near that.
Yeah, so clearly we aren't even, though.
That's just, yeah. It's
like it's a bunch of men. No, they're not actually men. They're like, they're young men, but they're not like ideal.
You were kind of one of the older people there, right?
Yeah, I wasn't actually I was not the oldest person there, I don't think. But no, I was like the second oldest.
Well, a lot of the people who wanted to be there aren't allowed within 100 yards of children, Chris. So. Buzzing! Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to compare Burnydom to pedophilia, but
we're not in Britain. It's pedophilia. Stop adding stupid words to things.
And I know better than that. God damn it! Because my best friend is a Brony. And I understand that it's not all a sexual fetish. That's a lot of people. The unbaptized seem to believe that if you are a Brony, that there's something inherently sexual about it. I would say that for most, from what I've seen, it's the opposite of that. There obviously is. Don't show me.
I'm actually pulling up.
I was very concerned. Chris is playing with his phone. I was very afraid that he was
I'm
about
actually
to
going to
pull up.
I was going to pull up the numbers because Derpy Burrow has a running count of the
this?
explicit. This is the pony aggregation. Pony image aggregation. Let's see. Yeah.
This is good
80%. So 20% is explicit, or 20% is. 80% of it is marked as safe on Derpy Burrow.
Sorry, what's marked as safe?
80% of the images.
That's better than most fandoms.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the weird stuff is really fucking weird, but that being said, I mean, I would say that most people, it's not a sexual thing.
Mm-hmm.
People also think that bronies are furries, and that's not the case.
Inherently true. I mean, there's definitely a Venn diagram. I think we touched on this before.
Obviously there's overlap in everything.
Yeah.
There's furries that are really into Jake the dog. And Tony the tiger.
Oh, we already know about Tony.
Yiff for me, daddy.
9 werewolves in an alley.
They're great. Oh, God almighty. You know what? You can find us on Twitter at CriscoCast. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you already know this, but if you're listening to us, you can find us on YouTube with youtube.com/Crisco brand biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. You can also find the podcast hosted at thefoallyofman.libsyn.com. And if you'd ever like to email us, or you have some fan art, or you just want to
sign us up for a bunch of spam
please
messages.
Yeah, not that, but you know what, we're going to get it out there anyway. You can contact us at cbpbch@gmail.com. Again, that is cbpbch.com
at Gmail.
Yeah, cbpbch@gmail.com.
Good job.
Yeah.
So, I'm Robert.
You all right?
I'm Chris.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You sure?
We'll see y'all next time.
That's. I don't like this voice. I don't like where this is going. It's like
and it sounded just like this.
It's like you just transformed into some weird puppet version of Chris.
I was the judge from
No, I know you're the judge from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. No, I get it. But I don't like that you transformed into this weird, like, puppet version of yourself.
I'm so proud. I actually got the voice right. How could you not give me props for that?
You know, you're going to have, like, 6 people saying, like, I really didn't like it when the episode got really loud at the end, and I had to take my headphones off. You know what the funny thing is? I do have to say one note. This is the last thing. I edit this on those very nice speakers with my computer, and I edit it with headphones. And it all sounds fine to me. It's all leveled out just fine.
Concerts. Dozens of concerts. Just hearing completely
What?
gone.
What? What'd you say?
It's
All right, that's enough. Thank you very much for tuning in this week, and we will see y'all
but the
next time.